resting there in possession. It's very, very tactical. Fisting to John McGinn. So Yuri Tielemans, who's had his injury issues this season, had personal bests last season in terms of assists. He was such a creative force and influence in this Aston Villa team. Here's Madsen. Watkins, but it's a fair challenge by Ødegaard to operate in. Bukayo Saka. Shooting chance for Saka.
Oh, what a save!
By Eddie Martinez. Loose ball picked up here by Ødegaard. Ben White's cross, Saka's header, and it's wide. Yeah, there's so much quality on the pitch. He's going from one end of the pitch to the other. This is a great effort from Saka. I mean, again, really good save. Arms it out, and I think Ødegaard maybe takes a little bit too long with that before he gets it back in, but Saka, Arsenal's top scorer this season, was actually given his Gunners debut by Unai Emery when he was the manager. Eternally grateful for that opportunity, I'm sure. This is Eze, really mentioned him in the game.
Oh, what a skill!
Brilliant if Torino can get on the end of it. Lovely flick in there by Eberechi Eze. Arsenal now on the other side with White. Forcing the keeper again to play it long. It's good stuff from Watkins though to hold it up. Now John McGinn. I think that's the one area where you miss the two central defenders for Arsenal, is when those long balls go in. They're not winning quite as many of those with this pair. I think an early concern here for Arteta is the kind of space that both Tielemans and Rodgers between the Arsenal midfield and the Arsenal defence. Yeah, and Rodgers is doing it from the left. He's popping in, he's dropping deep to do that. It's quite difficult to manage. Torres. Delicately lifting one out to Madsen, who's across 6 wide. Saka to Marino, quickly on the scene for Ira. It's what he's in there to do at the heart of this Aston Villa midfield, does that really? Ira again, another player who doesn't get really any credit, can pop back in between the two central defenders and very adept with the ball. Some space to run into Kamara. Watkins then looking for Tielemans and Calafiori. Spotted the danger well. Ødegaard now to Saka. It's 1v1 out there against Pau Torres. Himself, Torres now has to be strong. It's a goal kick. I thought it might have been a corner. Saka thinks it might be a corner.
Well, me.
Should have been a corner. Yeah. Certainly looked like that replay that the last touch was a Pau Torres touch. I think Arteta was trying to be a little bit concerned that Eze has not been in the game too much, playing out on his left-hand side. We discussed this before the game. We've got Ødegaard now playing in the hole and pulling the strings. I think Eze can just come in a little bit in the same way that Morgan Rodgers is popping into midfield for Villa. I think it's something that Eze can do for Arsenal. It's been a bright start by both of them here. A big game at Villa Park. It's a Villa throw-in. Villa have won their last 8 matches here on this ground. They didn't score in any of their first 4 games this season. They were in the bottom 3 after 5 matches, but since September the 26th, they've picked up the most points in the Premier League. So that's going to be like Unai Emery. His team responded to a bit of adversity in the early weeks of the season. improvement and run from Aston Villa. I believe Cash now is developing really. I believe Cash now is developing really nicely. Might have been waiting for any big cap. He might well have got that. Made that decision obviously to when he was in Poland. So you know he's that good right now. There aren't many right backs better than him and Conser as well. We know about him and his development. A lovely day in the West Midlands. Well, it was rainy to start with, but the sun's out now. Perfect conditions for this Premier League game between the team who's top of the table and the team in third place. Rotation around this Arsenal team. There is the fullbacks, I mean, they're just fullbacks in there, it's the positions they take up. That was evident in the warm-up. Fury was in the midfield, most of that warm-up. Fury, look at through the centre alongside Aston Conser. It is, I mean, it's very positive, but if you lose that ball, of course, you've got one player less on the back line. It's the furthest forward of anybody apart from Everett. Yeah, I think he's just given a bit of that problem because if they're trying to press, he's not really sure. The target here is the ball. Listen.
Oh, 1-0 Arsenal. Oh no.
That was super slick inside the Villa. It's offside. But that was super slick inside the Villa from the lead. I think it might be the initial run from Saka. Yeah, looks as if he's offside. It might be really close. This one. He said we had to see what they and then he was tapping. So, well count, well get it. Shows you how good it is. One thing you can get with Ben White back in the team is that telepathy between Saka and White on the right hand side. They've got this remarkable ability to play those short passes really open the opposition up. 100%. I think that's where Ben White really excels. Maybe just slightly above Timber. I think Timber better than Ben. Slide against Saka. Just not happy here with Ben White. It's that duel again, isn't it? You've got to keep it long, and you've got to win these battles. It's just very hard to go. Normal friction between players. We've seen plenty of each other today. Morgan Rogers starting out on the left-hand side and drifting in, and Ben White controlling that area defensively for Arsenal. It feels like something might have to give here today. A situation where they've only lost one of the last 21 away from home in the Premier League. So you've got a team that's excellent at home against a team that's fantastic. Arsenal probably should have scored. Well, don't forget we're in the middle of a really busy weekend for the football. Sutton United against Shrewsbury Town, 5 o'clock today. TNT Sports 2, Chesterfield Doncaster 7 o'clock. TNT Sports 1, and then 4 more games tomorrow. Then I've got Brackley Town against Burnley, and we've got the FA Cup third round draw as well. Monday night. They were landing to carry this ball a long way, Arsenal, and the last touch there is a Timber. So they're getting the crowd going, but he's just opened up for it now. Pretty well. Nobody prepared to go out to, and I think there's a luck in the end. There's an area, talking about that aerial height. No Gabriel, no Saliba. This is a bit of a really test Arsenal. The right back has gone out to take this corner for Aston Villa. Well, Pau Torres and Esri Concert into the Arsenal box. They're lacking a bit of height today without the likes of Gabriel and Cash. It's cleared away by Declan Rice. That's the key thing, isn't it? The delivery. Nothing else matters if that isn't coming. Torres lacking a bit of communication there. Both for the same ball. It's a slim way as Peter Banks is going to give the free kick. Now I think he went down his own street. I don't think he's loud there. Just the got the time. Look at this one. This is to go at 26 and a half minutes gone. Villa Park, it's fascinating watching the way this Arsenal team moves around. Fury goes, so the only thing is Fury is not feeding Eze, and that's it's not getting on the ball enough. But look, he's playing centre midfield, almost centre forward right now. Fury ridiculously high in this Arsenal team, and Ben White is right up there as well. I mean, Ben White's up level with Bukayo Saka. You can see him top of the picture. Yeah, he's asking questions. I think the 4-4-2 sees on most things, and then most shapes roll into the 4-4-2. It shows you the average starting position in this Arsenal team. Look how high Ben White is down the right. I mean, Calafiori in reality is higher than that, isn't he? He's incredible. We'll certainly keep an eye on that as he goes, but it gives you an idea of just how high Ben White in particular is on that right-hand side. Just wonder whether it's in Emery's mind to try and exploit the space vacated by Calafiori down the Aston Villa right. Well, that should be how it is. When you get that ball back, you then should be able to counter-attack into those spaces like now. Kamara in possession. Seems to be challenged by his own player there, Watkins, but they've managed to get it on now to Rodgers. And they've got Claret Blue running forward here, Aston Villa. Rodgers with the pass. It's going to fall here. But Matty Cash.
Oh, what a block!
It's hurt him, but he put his body on the line. It's like an insurance policy, Declan Rice, because he did, when all those players are wandering forward, he's the one thinking, I'm going to get back. Forward, he's the one thinking, I'm going to get back. Just look at him now. He's in this situation. Suddenly you've got Villa strikers running into space, and he's there like the watchdog, isn't he? Makes the first block, and he gets across, puts it on the line. Really important player today, Declan Rice. And every day, really. Absolutely. There isn't anybody better in the whole of Europe at the moment playing that position than Declan Rice. Yeah, he sniffs out danger. So Cash took the corner from the Aston Villa left. From this side, it's the captain, John McGinn. Morgan Rodgers there in a very familiar Arsenal position on the wide part of the 6-yard box. Under pressure. And that's a free kick to Arsenal. One observation I'd have here, Martin, without Gabriel, Saliba or Mosquera, who's been really good this season, they're just lacking a bit of physicality in the centre, aren't they? Nkapie and Timber, both of them have found it been difficult to deal with Watkins 1v1 so far.
Yeah, 100%. And we touched on it within the game. And those duels, and Martinez particularly, when you go man for man, hitting it long, you really want to be winning those headers to get the ball back on the attack for an Arsenal point of view. So that's a danger. But also, Ollie Watkins' movement today is really impressing me. The way he pulls off the shoulder, they've done work on that. His movement now, I feel, is way better than when certainly it was in the early days. His movement now, I feel, is way better than when certainly it was in the early days of this club.
It's the pressure. Timber. You're always comfortable in the ball regardless of circumstances. And Cafier to Rice and now to Calafiori. It's probably the first time in a while he's been in an orthodox left back position, Calafiori.
Maybe it's a scissor challenge and it's a leg on the side of his opponent. Do you know, I think there are occasions when you do get the ball, the referee should probably let it go.
Well, I think Cody can't give it.
No, but it's the follow through, I think, isn't it? Really? I think so. You know, if the referee didn't give it, I wouldn't be arguing that. I agree.
Two fellas in the middle of your team that made tackles like that for fun versus Petit and Vieira, if memory serves me correctly.
Well, you can get the deck chairs out at the back behind himself and tell him they were fine players, that's for sure.
This is Piero Cafier. Declan Rice. Hezza's dropped deeper, so Calafiori's gone ahead of him again. Sloppy from Hezza. Tielemans onto Watkins, but he can't get it.
Yeah, he's giving it away there. So just sometimes he just feels that he gets a little bit detached here. Out on the left, I think he used to be in that central area. Maybe that was something that was.
Two good teams though, Martin, and plenty of quality out there.
Two very well drilled teams as well. They know their roles and responsibilities. They're competitive.
Tielemans didn't get pulled for the first shoulder miles, but he did get pulled for the second one, so free kick, Calafiori now. Crowd getting angry with Peter Bank. I'd just like to see them be allowed to play a little bit more. Especially when you've got a game like this, you want it to flow. Catch with the header. Time to win a game to keep them in it against Manchester City a few seasons ago as well.
Yeah, it seems always, I mean, certainly on Emery's been a very difficult place to come to. Like you said about being a fortress. They don't lose too many games here.
Yes, the fans at the moment reminding the Arsenal fans they've not been European champions to this point. As the rain starts to fall again in the West Midlands, and that's a fantastic ball on by Rodgers. Ollie Watkins up against Shiri and Timber. The Dutch international. Initial vision and execution though from Rodgers was outstanding.
Yeah, you see Ollie Watkins when he plays against Arsenal, he's at 6 goals from 10 matches. It seems like a man possessed.
Physical from Torres on Marino, and this time the referee doesn't give it. I think this is where the inconsistency comes. This is where players get hammered.
I think it's almost a build-up, isn't it, where the player got in his ear, but maybe it's still the right decision, isn't it?
It's McGinn. Smith-led Rodgers picked up now by Saka. Brendan Rice. Hezza. Certainly a contrast in what the teams want to do today. You can see that Arsenal slow it down and keep the ball, and Aston Villa as high as they possibly can get it. Eze there particularly was trying to slow that down a little bit to try and figure out the picture. It's good for Mendy. Good Rogers back there doing a defensive shift. Here's Ben White. Odegaard. And it goes down to Calafiori. Really good cross. And Torres had to be strong against Eze, and he was. And he gets the free kick as well. I was just waiting for a comment, just to see which way you saw it. Marino one, win by Cash. So Esri Concert, John McGinn, now Yuri Tielemans, and it goes to Morgan Rogers. Final 10 minutes of the first half. Rogers up against White. Tielemans. Kamara. Now Matty Cash. Everybody back now defensively for Arsenal. This is a much improved ability.
Oh, what a ball.
Goes towards Hopkins. It's going to fall in.
Matty Cash 1-0 of Villa!
This season, just down that left-hand side, just see and make sure there's no offside. I don't believe there is. I think maybe it's Eze just switches off from an Arsenal point of view, because this is going to come in. This is going to come in. All in the box. He's going to move it again. It's flicked on, and then he reacts quicker. Eze realises just too late. Look at that for power right through the keeper's legs. No stopping that.
Well, that's only the 8th goal that Arsenal have conceded in the Premier League. There's the celebration from Unai Emery. It's the Villa have scored against the best defence in any of the top 5 European leagues.
Imagine that. Arsenal losing 1-0. Woo!
A shake of the head from Declan Rice. And the league leaders behind in the second sitting.
It's in jeopardy now, Victor.
The 5th time this season that Arsenal have been behind. They've only lost one of the previous 4 times, and that was against Liverpool in September. So they've been behind before, but they've generally found a way to come back. And they're playing against a very good team, proving their confidence here in Aston Villa. The Villa Park right now is absolutely bouncing off us. Absolutely. Rightly so.
He's ready for our Santa tracker.
Good Rogers, it's a corner off Ben White. Well, it's an Aston Villa team that scores 5 goals from corners in the Premier League this season, so they're not bad. He got one at Brighton on Wednesday. Onana from a corner, and he's in there along with the likes of Torres and Consa. And It's interesting, Martin. Only Daniel Marlon, who's a striker, has scored more Premier League goals this season now than Matty Cash for Aston Villa. So he's delivering from that right back position.
Yeah, he certainly is. As I said to you, how he's progressed. Could have played for England, didn't choose that. Maybe that was the wrong call without being disrespectful to Poland.
Cash is now running down the left, having not switched sides, having taken the corner. He's got some engine on it.
Team a little bit with Emery at the beginning, and he didn't look as if he was completely happy with the player. But he's happy now.
The new contract this season, Matty Cash, so he's certainly part of the long-term plans here these days at Aston Villa. So Villa 1, Arsenal 0, and there's 4.5 minutes to play. What's been a fascinating first half between two very, very good Premier League sides. This is Piero Hincapié for Arsenal. It's good play there by
central defenders when he gets the chance.
Goes towards Marino, Torres with a header. The guard onto Ben White. Timber, now Saka. Goes the long way around here, Matson pulls it back, Ben White, saved by Martinez. Excellent play down that side from Saka.
Martin certainly was. He just kept going, didn't he? And he finds that man again, Ben White. He seems to have this telepathic link up together, but not enough on the shot this time.
Just starting to get things under control. Right back in. Oh, just got away with that, right? Just went into the boot of Watkins, I think. Started to make the running behind Ian Matson, but the pass didn't go there from Timber.
It's interesting how shot there. Eze is moving on more central positions, and I think that's what Arsenal need to do, is to get him into the game.
New acquaintances with Matson down that side. Here's Erdegaard. Cafier. Rice onto Calafiori. Pocket of sunshine on this side of Villa Park. Eze. Rice. Cheesed in by Declan Rice. Great defending far post by Matson.
Yeah, he's done well today. So his hands full with Saka, but he's tucked in really nicely there for his team. Better though from Arsenal.
Saka and then White. It's Matson again. Intercepted now by Declan Rice. Good front foot play by him. Rice with the shot.
Yeah, he pitches it really well. And then I think the defender comes out to him. He hasn't really got a pass on. To shoot, not enough power on it.
Watkins up against Hincapié. Now John McGinn. It's a lovely ball out to Morgan Rogers. Teammates to sort of Watkins in the middle. It's kept in there by Ben White for Arsenal. Saka prevents Matson. Get the free kick here, Arsenal.
See a good tussle between those two.
So make sure you join us in the morning.
Those two.
So make sure you join us in the morning, 3:30 for the Ashes. England in a hole but fighting. TNT Sports 1. And next Saturday, by the way, 7 o'clock we start. We're at the Emirates. It's Arsenal at the top against Wolves at the bottom in the Premier League. So if you're in place inside, conscious slide.